China is quietly building something that most of the world hasn't fully understood yet. While headlines in the West chase scandals and trends, something far more serious is unfolding in the background. Step by step, almost without noise, China is designing a future that looks like pure science fiction. Artificial intelligences that make decisions on their own. Machines that no longer need human hands. Cities operated by code, algorithms, and autonomous systems. And yet, very few people in the West are really talking about it. Because this is not just about smart cities, flying taxis, or cool gadgets. China is creating something much bigger. A massive robotic ecosystem. An army of machines that can think, move, decide, and act. And when you truly see what it can do, one thing becomes clear. The future is not on the way. It is already here, and China is out in front. But before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Let's start with something that once sounded impossible. Remember when ordering pizza meant waiting 30 to 45 minutes and hoping it arrived warm? China decided that was unacceptable. So they built a network of delivery drones that can bring your food in just 15 minutes. And not about 15 minutes down to the exact minute. The company Meituan has already completed more than 300,000 drone deliveries. That's like feeding an entire mid-sized city from the sky. These drones follow fixed aerial routes and drop packages into smart lockers, so there's no waiting for a delivery person. But in rural areas, it gets even more impressive. JD.com operates heavy lift drones that can carry between 11 and 66 pounds. They call it a pickup truck in the sky. And for villages that never had fast delivery before, this changes everything. Think that's impressive? Then get ready for what comes next. This year alone, 15 million new cars in China will come with robotic brains capable of driving themselves. That means about 2 out of every 3 new cars can drive without a human touching the wheel. But now let me introduce something even more shocking. The GUAO1. The first car in the world with what its creators call a true AI brain. This isn't just self-driving. This is a car that can think, talk, and interact with you. The GUAO1 has an AI companion named Simo, and you can speak to it like a friend. You can stand outside and say, Simo, come pick me up, and the car will drive itself to you from up to 1.24 miles away. And here's the insane part. The GUAO1 runs on 2 NVIDIA Orin chips, delivering 508 TOPS of AI computing power, supported by 11 HD cameras, 12 ultrasonic sensors, and 5 radars. That's more sensors than many military drones. It can park itself, change lanes, avoid obstacles, read traffic lights, and even make risky, unprotected left turns in heavy city traffic. And that's not even the craziest vehicle. Have you heard of the BYD Yangwang U8? This SUV can perform a tank turn, spinning 360 degrees in place like a top thanks to 4 independent motors. Each wheel can rotate in a different direction, letting the car spin without moving forward or backward. It can also move sideways into tight parking spaces, with all 4 wheels pointing in the same direction. And then there's this. The Yangwang U8 can drive into water nearly 5 feet deep, float like a boat, and move at about 1.9 miles per hour just by spinning its wheels. Imagine that. A flood hits your city, and instead of being trapped, you simply drive into the water and float to safety. It can stay floating for a full 30 minutes. This is not a concept car. You can buy this right now. The IM Motors L6 can slide sideways into parking spaces like it is dancing. Using its 4-wheel steering system and independent electric motors, it reduces the space needed for parking by 11% and has a turning radius of only 16.4 feet. That is much smaller than normal cars. Even more impressive, the BYD Denza Z9 GT can parallel park by literally sliding sideways into tight spaces. The car uses its electric motors to spin the rear wheels in opposite directions, while the front wheels act as a pivot point, allowing it to slide sideways into spaces that seem impossible. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you see what BYD built next. The U9 Extreme Supercar goes from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 2.36 seconds. That is faster than you can say super speed. It broke all world speed records, reaching 300 miles per hour, becoming not only the fastest Chinese car ever made, but the fastest production car on the planet. But here comes the truly insane part. The BYD Yangwang U9 can literally dance. This $236,000 supercar has a system called DCSX that makes the car jump up to 3 inches off the ground, hop over obstacles, and even sync its movements with music. You can literally watch a 1,287 horsepower supercar dancing to the beat. The crazy part? This is not just for fun. The system reacts in just 40 milliseconds and can lift each wheel up to 3 inches at speeds of up to 19.7 inches per second. That is faster than blinking. This is more powerful than any production car ever built. It will be faster than Lamborghini, Ferrari, and even the $2 million Rimac Nevera. But here is what scares other car companies. BYD has just become the first manufacturer in the world to reach 10 million new energy vehicles, and it is selling these dancing supercars for $236,000, while a Ferrari costs more than $500,000. But here comes the surprising part. 85% of Chinese people feel completely comfortable letting a robot drive for them, while only 39% of Americans feel the same. China is literally racing into the future while other countries are still afraid to try. They are testing self-driving taxis in 19 different cities, with 16,000 test cars on 19,900 miles of special roads. That is like almost driving all the way around the Earth and still having road left. AI cars are already taking the world to the next level, but when we talk about charging them, it takes hours, right? Well, BYD has ended that problem forever. The new batteries charge so fast that 5 minutes of charging gives 248 miles of range. That is like traveling from one city to another with just a quick bathroom stop to recharge. They call this a 1 megawatt charging system. That is 1,000 times more powerful than charging a phone. In practice, it is now faster to charge an electric car than to fill up a gas car. But China did not stop there. China also built trains that do not even touch the ground. They float using magnets. These maglev trains recently reached about 404 miles per hour in just 7 seconds. That is faster than most airplanes during takeoff. In tests, one train went over 621 miles per hour. That is literally faster than commercial airplanes flying in the sky. With trains like that, you could travel from Beijing to Shanghai in just 2.5 hours instead of 5.5 hours. But if you think trains floating at over 621 miles per hour are already insane, get ready for what will really shock you. China is not just building futuristic technology. They are building futuristic minds. While many countries teach children only basic math, China is turning its kids into AI specialists. Starting this year, every child in Beijing, from age 6 and up, is required to have AI classes for at least 8 hours every school year. That is millions of children learning how to use AI before they even learn multiplication. China selected 184 schools to test even more advanced AI programs. When these children grow up, they will be controlling technologies that do not even exist yet. It seems there is almost no area left where China has not used AI. But can you imagine a country building an entire highway without a single worker? Well, China just did that. They recently built a road using 100 giant autonomous trucks, each capable of carrying 187,000 pounds and driving completely by themselves. No human driver, no intervention. Even in freezing temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius, which is -40 degrees Fahrenheit. And it does not stop there. Chinese companies have already put entire fleets of road-building robots into operation, including 10 autonomous road rollers and 2 giant pavers that build highways automatically using GPS and intelligent algorithms. They are literally building the roads that other robots will drive on. China's next goal: to have 5,000 autonomous trucks operating across the country by the end of this year. And at their pace, that could happen sooner than anyone expects. Flying in China is like stepping into the future. At 62 airports, 557 security lanes use facial recognition, so you don't need a ticket or an ID. The system already knows who you are just by scanning your face. At Hongkou Airport in Shanghai, you can check in, drop off your luggage, go through security, and board without speaking to a single person. The entire process takes only 12 seconds per passenger. Beijing's largest airport has more than 600 biometric checkpoints, 250 automatic gates, and 80 self-service stations, all powered by facial recognition. Everything happens automatically. You just walk, and the cameras do the rest. But it's not just at airports. All across China, cameras are everywhere, watching, analyzing, and recognizing faces in real time. China has already installed more than 200 million surveillance cameras. That is 4 times more than in the entire United States. They call it the Skynet system, and it uses facial recognition to track every person in the country. The technology is so advanced that it can catch people jaywalking, identify who isn't wearing a mask, and even predict crimes before they happen. Police also use smart AI helmets that scan crowds and instantly identify wanted criminals. This technology is extremely powerful, and China is moving forward rapidly with AI while the rest of the world struggles to keep up. We make online payments by swiping a card or using a phone, right? Well, China has taken that one step further. There, you can pay without a card and even without a phone. Sounds impossible. They do it with the palm of your hand. It may sound like magic, but it's real. Millions of people in China are already paying for things just by showing their hand. Tencent's WeChat Palm Pay scans the lines and veins in your palm. It's more secure than fingerprints and faster than pulling out your wallet. More than 1,500 stores already use this system, with an error rate of less than 1 in a million. Students use it at universities, travelers use it on trains, and soon people may not need cash, cards, or even phones to pay for anything. But this is where it gets even crazier. In China, people are not just abandoning physical money, they are letting robots do their jobs. There is a robot in China that is about the height of a 10-year-old child, but it can perform perfect kung fu moves, dance like a professional, and even run faster than most adults. Meet the Unitree G1 robot. It is not just any robot. The G1 is 4.3 feet tall and weighs 77 pounds with the battery. It has 23 movable joints, which give it human-like motion. It walks, runs, jumps, sits, stands up, shakes hands, and waves, all with impressive balance and precision. It moves so naturally that you would swear there is a person inside it. But here comes the crazy part. It's not just for show. The G1 can help with daily tasks like carrying objects, opening bottles, or cleaning your room. And when you're bored, it can perform kung fu routines, stick dancing, or any choreography you program. It is also smart enough to fold itself to make storage or transport easier, like a suitcase. And here comes the real shock. It costs only $16,000. It may sound expensive, but compared to other humanoid robots that cost hundreds of thousands, it's almost a bargain. And wait, there's more. They also created robot dogs called Go2. They are not cute pet robots. They are serious working dogs that weigh only 33 pounds but can run at 8.2 feet per second. But here is what makes them absolutely incredible. They can walk upside down, do backflips and front flips, do cartwheels, and even roll adaptively while climbing obstacles. These robot dogs understand voice commands thanks to GPT technology, can shake paws, stretch, dance, and even take photos. The most impressive part is that they have 4D LiDAR, which sees 360 degrees around them with almost no blind spots, detecting objects as close as 2 inches away. The Go2 Pro can run up to about 11 miles per hour and has an intelligent side-following system that lets it run next to you while automatically avoiding obstacles. In addition, they created a wheeled version called Go2W, which can move over any terrain carrying up to 6.6 pounds of cargo. The scary part, at the 19th Asian Games in Hangzhou, robot dogs were already working on the field, carrying discs and javelins, and the crowd went wild. They are already being used by police forces and armies around the world. Now, let's talk about something that will give you chills. There is a company called X-Robots making androids. That means robots that look exactly like humans. I'm talking about robots with realistic skin, perfect teeth, and eyes that blink, just like yours. These robots have 140 different ways to move their faces and bodies. That is more than most humans. They cost about $280,000 each, and it takes a full month to build just one, because every detail has to be perfect, down to the pores in the skin. But here comes the absolutely incredible part. X-Robots has already built more than 200 humanoid robots, and now produces more than 500 units per year in its massive factory in Dublin. They even brought back to life famous scientists like Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, and Thomas Edison as talking robots that tell their own life stories. These robots are already working in science museums, hotels, schools, and government buildings all across China. The company opened the country's first robot museum, where you can find robotic versions of historical figures. And here is what is scary. In a few years, you may no longer be able to tell if you are talking to a human or a robot. What happens when these robots get cheaper and everyone can buy one? And while we are still trying to understand whether robots can replace basic human interaction, China is already using them in the most advanced areas you can imagine. China has built AI machines that find your veins and draw your blood more accurately than the best nurses in the world. No painful pokes, no let me try the other arm. But that is just the beginning. Chinese hospitals have already put automatic medicine delivery robots into operation which pick up drugs from the pharmacy and deliver them directly to hospital wards in minutes instead of hours. That means no waiting for overloaded nurses and no dangerous delays in medication. These robots know exactly which medicine goes to which patient and move automatically through crowded hallways. But now comes something that will blow your mind. Chinese doctors are already performing surgeries on patients who are 5,000 miles away. In Xinjiang, surgeons operated on patients using robotic systems while sitting in completely different cities, thousands of miles away. That was for remote areas. But what if the doctor himself is a robot? Meet Dr. Alfred, an AI surgeon robot so realistic you would think he is human. This hyper-realistic robot communicates fluently, understands multiple languages, and answers medical questions like a real doctor. China also built the first AI hospital in the world with 14 robot doctors and 4 robot nurses. These robot doctors treat 3,000 patients in just one day. They get it right 93% of the time, better than many human doctors. If China has already used AI in cars, construction, travel, shopping, food delivery, and medicine, how could it fall behind in something even more basic, the food we eat? China is also using smart technology in agriculture. The DJI Agres T100 is a powerful agricultural drone that can carry 220 pounds of seeds or pesticides. It sprays crops automatically, works at night, and uses smart sensors to avoid obstacles. High above the fields, a new kind of farmer is at work, not with boots and a shovel but with propellers, sensors, and code. In China, drones now sweep across farmland, spreading seeds at incredible speed and helping farmers work faster than ever before. What once took days now takes minutes. And that's just the beginning. Another jaw-dropping machine is the cotton-topping robot, equipped with 108 mechanical arms. This machine doesn't guess, it sees. Using advanced cameras and precision sensors, it identifies exactly where to cut and prune. In a single day, it can work across 64 to 99 acres of cotton fields. To put that in perspective, it works about 120 times faster than a human worker. Then comes the GPS-guided transplanting machine. This fully automated system can plant crops on 15 to 17 acres in just one day. That's the same work normally done by 80 to 100 people. For farmers, this means massive savings on labor and huge increases in productivity. These are not experiments. These machines are already working in real fields, producing real food at real scale. This is how China is using artificial intelligence to grow more food, faster, cheaper, and with far less human effort. And here's what makes it truly shocking. China isn't building just one breakthrough at a time. It's building all of them at once. Agriculture, transportation, robotics, AI, smart cities, everything is advancing together. And it's happening faster than anyone thought possible. This is not the end of the story. It's the starting line. Every one of these technologies will become more powerful, more efficient, and more affordable. What seems futuristic today will feel normal tomorrow. So the real question is this: when will this technology reach the rest of the world? And are you ready to live in a future where machines see everything, track everything, and know more about people than people know about themselves?